Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're starting with a discussion about the PM. We saw her this morning in the news addressing a massive audience in Ghana, but that's only one leg of a tour, really, so to speak, that she is on. Let's talk about that.
Well, she's really on an international odyssey that will take her right around the world and back to the Caribbean for the CARICOM's 50th anniversary Heads of Government Conference in Trinidad, starting on the 3rd of July. But over the 2 week period leading up to that, she's been to the UK. There she is at Buckingham Palace, the Windrush event. In the UK, she spoke to all of the UK's ambassadors. There she is, all of the UK's ambassadors and high commissioners. She went to Geneva, where she engaged with the World Trade Organization. There she is at UNCTAD in Geneva, planning for a big global supplies conference in Barbados next year. She's now in Ghana, where she addressed the African Export-Import Bank annual general meeting. Then she's off to Paris, where she and President Macron of France will host the global summit on a new global financial pact. That is really the Bridgetown Initiative. Then she's off to China, taking the good news of the Bridgetown Initiative and other developmental issues with her before making her way back to the Caribbean and the 50th anniversary Heads of Government Conference. So our Prime Minister is doing a tremendous job. She's out there pushing the Bridgetown Initiative and other related developmental issues for us. And while she was away doing her thing, we were doing our thing here in Barbados as well. On Friday of last week, we kicked off our Barbadian celebration of the 50th anniversary of CARICOM. And we kicked it off in a very special way. We had a book launch at the Bay Primary School, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has collaborated with Barbadian journalist Dawn Paris to produce a beautiful children's pictorial novel. I have it here. It's called I Am CARICOM.
I'm showing off mine as well.
Yes, KOFI'S Journey. And Dawn is supposed to be on with us this
Yes.
morning. I understand she was having some technical problems. I hope she can join us because we really wanted Dawn to speak about the novel and what inspired her to reach out to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs with this idea, which we readily embraced. And her novel is generating some excitement, not only locally, but across CARICOM. I'm already receiving requests from my fellow CARICOM ambassadors for copies of the novel that they can share in their countries. But just to
I
say
must tell
that,
you, Ambassador. I must tell you, Ambassador. I am so impressed with the book, with the writing, with the illustrations. It truly is, a quick read for the little ones and easy for them to understand. And most importantly, the shades within the pages absolutely look like people that we know. Even the landscapes was what
yeah,
expressed in the book. And I was really looking forward to talking to Dawn. We went to college and university together, and I've not seen Dawn in quite some time, but it truly is a beautiful book. So even if we don't get her on this morning, as time moves by, we most certainly will make sure that we get her on Morning Barbados to talk more about this important and very incredible book that she's produced. Congratulations to Dawn.
I think Tisha, you might have some photographs of the actual launch ceremony. Well, that's yes. This is at the Bay Primary. This is Mr. Salas Hamilton of the CARICOM Secretariat. He spoke at the ceremony. This is me with students of Bay Primary and their principal, Miss Heather Paris. And in the background, Mr. Adamson from the National Library Service. It was a wonderful, we made donations, of course, of several copies of the book to the students at Bay Primary. This is Shakim Howell. He's one of our two youth CARICOM youth ambassadors, Barbados's CARICOM youth ambassadors. So he played a very important part in the ceremony. This, of course, is me addressing the students about CARICOM. And I must tell you, the students at the primary were really on the ball. They could teach me a few things about CARICOM. And here is Dawn, the author. Dawn is to my left, Dawn Paris. And the young lady at the other extremity is Natalie Jackson. She is actually the graphic artist that did the beautiful illustrations to be found in the book, and that's Mr. Adamson from the National Library Service. So we had a grand time. We did a little quiz, a CARICOM quiz with the children. We posed questions to them, and they answered every single question about CARICOM.
And
And
ironically,
so,
that's how the book starts. The book starts with a young man being anxious about having entered a competition, and he's anxious about winning, the possibilities of what he could get based on what he knew about it. So it's all about KOFI'S CARICOM journey. Again, I don't think you're going to be able to print enough copies of this book to be able to satisfy the need.
yeah, Kofi wins this essay competition, and his prize is a trip all across the Caribbean. So he goes to Antigua, St. Lucia, Belize, Trinidad and Tobago. He's traveling all over the Caribbean, and he's having his little adventures in every territory. And it's really a wonderful learning tool. And although it's a children's book, adults can read it and enjoy it as well. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a limited number of copies available at the reception desk at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in case anyone is sufficiently motivated to come and ask for a copy. But the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we're going to take this. We're going to make this book part of our I Am CARICOM public educational series. We are going to be all across the schools in Barbados. In fact, we are going to be celebrating CARICOM's 50th anniversary for a whole year. We are kicking off the celebration now, but the celebration will really last into 2024. And this is just one part of the celebration. We have asked government agencies, including CBC, to be part of the year-long celebration. And I must say, Keisha, that the very first government agency to respond positively was the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. And CBC is going to be doing a number of things to celebrate the 50th anniversary. They're going to be featuring outstanding speeches by CARICOM and ministers. They're also going to be doing short documentaries on CARICOM citizens who made their home in Barbados and who have made outstanding contributions to our country. CBC is also going to be collating outstanding Caribbean integration songs, and we have many such songs over the years. I mean, a classic one would be Black Stallions, The Caribbean Man, and those songs are going to be featured on CBC's playlist right through the year of commemoration. And similarly, we expect the NCF, the Prime Minister's Office, the Division of Culture, the Government Information Service. We are going to have a really solid 50th anniversary commemoration in Barbados, and we are going to be adding to what the CARICOM Secretariat is going to be doing for the entire region. The Secretariat also, they have their own regional commemorative program. So in the months ahead, Barbadians can expect to see many activities celebrating this wonderful CARICOM milestone.
This is absolutely true. I want to thank you for coming through as always. We definitely need to share more because we can definitely claim that Barbados is kind of the CARICOM hub. Based on the institutions that are based here. I know there will be a series coming up on CARICOM 50, a series of broadcasts as well, which will be, I think, anchored by Julian Rogers. I'll be a part of that as well. So there definitely is a lot happening across the region as we celebrate CARICOM 50 and the agencies all across the Caribbean, but most certainly the ones here, CDB, Caribbean Export, the Office of Trade Negotiations, etc., etc. So we definitely look for, maybe we'll have to move up that program sooner than you thought, Ambassador, but I know that you're ready for any challenge. So when I call, just be sure to answer. Thank you again for coming through.
Not a problem, Tisha. I'm like a good Boy Scout, always ready.
All right, thank you. Always great to hear from the ambassador on what's happening. And with CARICOM 50, we definitely need to kind of hone in on what's happening across the region. Half century. So it's next level stuff now. We have to go in another direction or continue that upward trajectory to ensure that we truly are making the best of CARICOM.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.